Hang on, I gotta turn down my stuff. It's 7 o'clock, time to rock. Let's do this.
Rock and roll.
Are we on?
I think
Is this
so.
thing on? Welcome to Turn5.Live September with fourth edition. I'm Todd Lebroni. This is DJ Everett over here, man on the controls. We have Mr. Dirk Diggler. Fantastic. Or Donovan John, same guy. Same guy. I just wanted to thank you all for tuning in tonight. I hope everybody's
only moderately overstated.
What?
Somebody's live. Who's live?
Why don't you turn down your freaking... You do this every week.
I'm quiet.
It's the first... Has he done this every week? Let's vote. You guys have a poll out there.
Oh, who is that?
It was me. Oh, shit. All right, we're out to a good start. Welcome to Turn5.Live. Hopefully you guys are hearing us out there. Donovan's got the things done.
I think so. I don't know anymore.
I got too many things in front of me. I got 3 electronic things, and the only thing I care about is this little hand grenade beer I got.
Special Tuesday night edition.
Tuesday night edition.
It's Sunday night on Tuesday night.
Well, you know.
The Sunday is the new Tuesday.
Well, okay.
Sure.
That means I got to go to work tomorrow. This is like Monday. I mean,
Damn it.
same thing, right? But we appreciate everybody tuning in. Hope you had a great Labor Day weekend. Got a lot of things to cover.
It's our guest you sent us.
Our guest? Yeah, I sent our guest to you.
Yeah,
We're having a guest tonight.
We do have a guest.
We don't have anybody in studio. This is the first time, I think, in weeks that it's just been us 3 in studio. Who's going to get me a beer?
Fuck, right? Last night,
You're
or last...
You can,
So
say,
here's the thing.
You can say fuck on here.
I can. But like we were talking earlier, because we're just going to go segue straight into this. We're having a conversation about trick or treat? Trunk or treat.
Trunk or treat, yeah.
And having a Turn 5
Yeah.
table set up and give away candy from Turn 5.
With a
The
banner.
problem, I'm like, that's a great
I love
idea.
it when we don't prep for this stuff and you just hit me with it. It's perfect.
I know. But so DJ says, man, that'd be great. I'm like, that's a fucking great idea. And I went, wait, I just said fucking. You know what?
What?
I don't think this is a kid-friendly show.
I don't think so.
I would feel really freaking...
So we hand out beer.
Right. So that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, we'll do the adults. Yeah, we will hand out stuff for the adults.
We're going to do the adults.
October 27th. Yeah.
We line them up.
So we'll put that out there real quick.
You are Dirk Diggler.
I am. So for all of you guys, all the tens of you who are out there.
There's 10. There's actually 10 right now.
So Trunk or Treat, Turn5.Live having a booth at the racetrack. Because the mini stocks are racing, so I'm going to be there.
Is there a trunk or treat this year?
There is.
Yeah, there's.
Mini stocks are racing. It's the 27th?
27th, I believe.
Of what?
October. The last race of the
Fucking
year.
November.
I don't know these things.
October, Trunk or Treat.
I'll be back.
Right. But I mean, should we? And if we are, should we only have parental items?
No, let's not get weird. We got to have something for the kids, too, because it's for the
let's do
kids.
something for the kids.
But that's like Howard Stern giving out candy.
No, but we'll get the
I'll give
parents
out
by
candy.
getting through their kids. We'll just say, don't watch kids.
To the kids' mom.
Moms have to tell the parents have to tell the kids to,
It's easy for you to say.
Yeah, no.
You're the announcer.
I'm tired.
You're the professional here, man. Come on, we're just fucking winging it.
Tired. What's the sleep thing? I don't understand.
know, right?
Hey, great show, though, planned for tonight. We've got a special guest coming in on the phone.
We do have a very special guest.
I'm very disappointed that nobody brought us food today.
I am too.
Because it's been pretty dang good on the old food program.
Oh my God, Latham's last week. I still have wet dreams about that beef that they put in my mouth.
Wow.
We're off the air.
Wow.
Instantly, we're off the air. I'm out. Actually, I'm out on this whole thing.
I got to tell you, as many times as I've heard Kirkland's meat in my mouth.
I'm out. I'm out.
So Cody, if you're out there, your meat's delicious.
Fucking up.
Got them all excited over there.
So
I cannot do this tonight. So we're sitting right before it. I mean, literally 30 seconds before we go on air.
What is going on here?
And I'm eating dinner because I haven't eaten.
he's eating potato chips.
I'm eating potato chips, which is my dinner. Joe Daly, I hope you're not watching. But I'm woofing up potato chips.
I told him he couldn't eat potato chips. And he said, "It's my dinner. You're not the boss of me."
And I'm literally like throwing up my food in my mouth.
Well, it's just because I said Dirk Diggler. You're not the boss of Dirk Diggler's cock. I'm the boss of Dirk Diggler's cock. So there we go. That's why we're a little bit crazy tonight. So I apologize to all the grandmothers.
It's a Tuesday. I'm out of it.
He's probably got his grandma watching. He's probably got all this going on. He's never tuned into the show.
God, did you just spoil the guest?
Chocolate balls.
I did. Colton Nelson's on tonight on Turn5.Live. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Right? I think so.
This kid on
I think he's probably the highest profile folk we've had on here.
No.
Tyler Brownie is.
No, no. Colton's awesome. I mean, in my hierarchy, Colton's near the top, but I got to
Right?
put Kirk Kern up there.
Well, I mean,
And
but,
then I
but
gotta have Randy
Kern,
Kerr up there.
Kern and both Kirk and Randy, they're more they're promoters. Their job is to make the drivers look good, so people want to come and see them. I mean, as far as a named individual, who's the draw? Like, it's not like the Kirk Kern Show.
I want y'all to understand Neil Latham, Jason
Nobody.
Wardle,
Never heard of her.
Kyle Latham, all these guys that he's dissing right now.
According-
that was
according to Donovan
Dirk
Johns.
Diggler, Donovan Johns said that. That was not me. And I love Colton. I love them
Right.
all.
No,
I think
I
they
do
all
too.
have
Talk
their
to
place.
him this coming Saturday at Twin Falls. So hit him up.
But we had Kyle Tellstrom on too. Pretty big name.
I mean, Tellstrom.
Wow.
I'm gonna diss everyone.
I'm trying to like work up Colton.
Yeah, I love Colton. But so yeah, Colton's awesome. So,
I said one of. God, you guys made a big deal
no,
about
I
it.
just,
Now I'm like,
why are you
whatever.
dissing people?
Yeah,
I
don't
don't
disagree,
care.
We got
man.
17
what it is.
people watching you.
They got to step up their profiles.
All right, so let's talk about what happened this last weekend.
talk about-
Meridian
let's-
was dark,
let's-
other than dirt.
Twin was dark.
Can we thank our sponsors first?
Do we? Yes.
Are they paid?
This moment brought to you by
What do you like here?
VaultVapes.com.
Well, Vapes in Royal Purple, Todd's back pocket.
Charmaine shop. You want creamy smooth lips? Put my.
Oh God.
I can't even hold this.
Lion Tamer.
Lion Tamer
Lion
Beard Care. Big shout out to.
He's not having any more beer.
To Chuck Youngblood. He picked up a couple of
Chuck!
Lion Tamers
FPC.
and gave us some good feedback. FPP parts.
You know,
Yep.
Chuck jumped a pace car.
I did. I saw that. I was there.
pretty awesome.
Yep.
and Royal Purple.
Royal Purple.
Royal Purple synthetic
Lion
oils.
Tamer. Charmaine
Yeah.
shop. Lion Tamer.
And gotta give a
Full
shout
Vapes.
out.
AC
Gotta
to
give a
Z.
shout out to our Tony
AC to
Flores
Z.
at
Tony Flores.
at the Keller Williams
Yep.
at the Flores Group at Keller Williams.
Mark Williams. Or Mark Newman.
Mark Newman.
AC to
Keller
Z.
Williams. AC to Z.
Turn his mic off. Just turn it off.
Oh.
AC to Z Mechanical.
like
Mark Newman. Oh, come on, man. Let's try to do a show here.
Sorry.
Donovan needs a girlfriend in the worst way. So if anybody's
has one.
Oh, Kim, look out.
Don't
that's
watch
right.
this episode.
He's
Hold on,
gotta
I gotta send a message. Hold on. You do
Okay.
not want to watch tonight.
no, I mean
You
just
can talk-
something because
you can talk to,
his
Todd
mind is
about that.
gone.
Right.
So we had a great weekend.
We
We
did.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I
may,
wasn't-
may
I
not
didn't
have
see
been
any
anything.
racing.
May not have been much going on here locally, but with some national stuff, we had a great sprint car race in Salt Lake City that I attended.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Well, let's start with some big news today.
big news.
Big news.
Those of you just coming home from work and you haven't turned on your Facebook yet, we have some breaking news from NAPCAR.
From NAPCAR. The
NAPCAR.
Defending.
Monster Energy Cup champions,
Yeah?
Furniture Row Racing,
Yeah.
going to be closing their doors at the end of the year.
Who is that?
Front row furniture row
Racing
motorsports
with
78
Mark George Jr. They're defending champions.
Who's that?
Closing their doors. Don't listen to him. Closing their doors at the end of the year.
done.
Isn't that nuts?
You know, okay, so sponsorship we know is hard to come by, but my goodness.
He owns it. He owns Furniture Row. It's Barney Visser. I mean,
Yeah, but you have to justify the write-off.
So 5-hour energy decided to say bye-bye at the end of this year. So that's
Someone made a 4-hour.
and they have Bass Pro Shops, 5-hour energy, and Furniture Row are on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, he just didn't want to fund it anymore, I think. I think he had his
Right.
fun. He won his championship. The guy's a multi-billionaire, and he wants to do something different. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like Truex
Hey,
is going somewhere.
if you're watching, Turn5.Live would love your sponsorship.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
Family Furniture Row and Turn5
Yes. Carl Barney.
synergy.
Yeah. I'm sure that they're thinking the same.
So it's not official yet. I've got a few contacts back in North Carolina. I've been talking to today. It's not official yet,
You have
but
contacts in North Carolina?
back in North Carolina, yes, I do.
Wow.
Media contacts as well, as a matter of fact. But anyway, all eyes are pointing towards Truex going over to the number 19.
That would be cool.
Joe Gibbs Racing, that Suarez currently
I mean,
occupies.
I don't actively follow, but I do like Truex.
Yeah.
Oh, why? How could you not like Truex?
Right? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
He and Bauer are like my boys for the last 10 years.
Boyer.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Bauer,
Who?
Boyer.
Boyer?
Never heard of
You
him.
like the guys that crash and they cheated to try to get in the chase. You realize that,
don't
right?
they all?
You know that they cheated. Michael
He's
Waltrip
all
Racing.
for that.
Right. Michael Waltrip.
Donovan's
And
all
that
for
was
it.
Boyer. It cost Truex. He didn't do anything, but it cost Truex.
Yeah.
That's
whole
when
team.
NASCAR kind of died to me. Michael
Kinda?
Waltrip's a fucking tool.
I would say even the conversation they had coming up to a playoff type system killed fucking NASCAR in my opinion.
Yeah.
I just wish we had a Friday night World of Outlaws show on every
Right.
weekend.
Of course. Yeah.
I'd cut those races in half, make
Yeah.
it all a one-day show, and fucking have fun.
Yep. Have heat races for the guys who
Yep.
don't qualify. Have some qualifying races, 15, 20 lap sprints.
Dude, top 20, everyone else rates in for order, and do it.
Though I did watch Darlington.
Yeah.
Do we already go into that? I don't want to make you mad.
No, really quick though.
Don't anger the DJ.
Going over to number 19, also going to be bringing his Bass Pro Shop sponsorship with him.
There we go.
Yes.
Rumor has it Suarez might land in the number 95 car for Levine Family Racing that Casey Kane is departing. So that's the rumor there.
That's the rumors.
Yeah,
Remember when Kane was good?
yeah, when he drove for Abraham. Yeah,
Yeah.
back in the day. Let's talk about Darlington. That was a heartbreaker, personally for me.
Oh, blew me up. I watched that whole
Personally
thing.
for me, it was a heartbreaker.
Oh, I was midnight when the last 10 laps of that. I'm like,
Okay, so let's set it up. Kyle Larson led 284 of the 367 laps of that race,
dominated.
Yeah.
Was screwing around.
and
Wow.
finished last pit stop. He got beat out of the pits by Mr. Brad Keselowski. Yeah, and the car just went to hell after that. Looks
It's
like.
got bad air. I think that those
Yeah.
guys all loosened their cars up for that last run, and they were equal to him on those short runs.
Eventually finished third behind
Damn.
Keselowski.
Larson snake bit. He's perennial second
It's like
place.
the second or third time he did that
place.
this year. Bristol earlier this year was the same way. He lost
One-
the last 20 laps of the
One
race.
day, that little gremlin's going to bounce off of their back, and they're going to rip off freaking 5-6 wins in a row.
Yeah, when Dane Amick's, a friend of mine, said on Twitter one time, I don't know why I'm recalling this right now. He said when he starts winning, he's not going to stop.
Right.
Right.
And you got to understand, none of the Chevys were good.
Right.
Chevy
Hasn't been good all year.
No,
There's been one car good, and it's been the 42.
Yeah. That's it.
Is that better?
There you go.
Is that better?
Oh, yeah.
There's been one good car, and it's been the 42. I mean, Chase Elliott had a little bit of a run. He was actually
It was
decent.
pretty good there.
Jimmy Johnson continues to screw himself completely out of wins and races.
So now he is pretty much one of the
Remember
bubble.
when Jimmy Johnson was good?
Yeah.
It seemed like just 2 years ago.
Yeah. Just
I think their give a
What the
shit
hell?
meter, it used to be pegged over here on full give a shit. Their give a shit's like 3/4 give a shit. And
Well,
I don't
yeah,
think you
fuck
can
it.
win on
now
3/4.
he's one of the guys that's struggling to get into the playoffs with one race to go
Yeah.
before the playoffs
Yeah.
start.
It's going to be tough to
So
do.
yeah, Brad Keselowski had a very good weekend. As a matter of fact, he won the Xfinity race on Saturday and backs up with the Cup race on Sunday.
Brad had a good weekend. I do love Brad Keselowski, the way he celebrates America, puts American flag and all that stuff up. But that dude, it looks like a fucking horse.
My
Yeah.
wife says, yeah, my
You
wife.
ever watch BoJack Horseman?
No, Linda.
He is fucking BoJack Horseman.
Linda said he looks like Mr. Ed. So yeah.
Nah, but I'll pull up BoJack. You can watch some BoJack
Yeah.
here.
I asked him one time when I saw him there in Bristol, why the long face, Brad?
Okay. One other piece of NASCAR news I want to share with you guys.
I cannot hold it tonight at all.
That's what he said.
Oh, you can hold it, trust me.
One more piece of NASCAR news. Elliott Sadler, we talked about him
Right.
retiring. Vacates the seat. Noah Grayson is taking over the seat next year.
Really? Grayson?
for Junior Motorsports.
That'd be a good step up,
You can't win, wreck him.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what NASCAR needs is more.
Because he was here once, everybody thinks he's great.
Yeah.
Remember, I told you, I seen the dude.
Yeah.
I spent some time with him. He's a little ADD kid running around.
Yeah.
Scary. Let's see.
Yes, sir.
Let's see what happens. Hopefully he'll
Okay.
do well.
F1 really quick.
Hey, we should show some video.
I wish I could.
Oh, you ought to talk about that. Actually, tell our people why they can't watch the old races. That's
Fuck
important.
F1.
Formula One shut us down. Formula One didn't like us.
Yeah, our
showing the
last
clip.
two shows, we showed the Spa qualifying lap with Hamilton
Yeah.
from 2017. Showed the first 3 or 4 corners of Spa, and they blocked both
Formula
episodes.
One blocked us, so
And-
you can't go on and watch our old shows right
No.
now.
Did they also complain about us playing Beach Boys as well?
No, that was from the Beach Boys themselves, but that was an easy fix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just had to go like, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, F1 tackled their fastest track on the circuit, Monza, in Italy, and Kimi Räikkönen on Saturday set the fastest ever lap in F1 history. Minute 19 seconds around that.
Holy shit.
3.6 mile
Around Monza?
around Monza. 163 average around Monza. 163 average.
You guys,
So-
I'll be
I
there
would
next
love to show you the clip of that.
I'm driving
Fastest
by
ever.
there in 3 weeks, by the way.
Will you?
I'll wave at Monza.
To see how fast
If
you
you are,
take
I'm
your,
jealous.
your
I'm super
rental
jealous
around
if you are.
Monza.
I don't think my wife's going to want to go to Monza for our 30th wedding anniversary. Let me see.
Let her go to like a flower shop or something.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Monza really quick. It is the fastest track. During the race, the fastest speed trap was, I don't know who it was set by, but it was 225 miles an hour.
Good Lord.
Down one of the straightaways. The record is 231 miles an hour, set by Juan Pablo Montoya back in 2005. So that shows you how fast Monza
So he didn't
is.
hit the pace car that time.
No.
It wasn't the pace car. He hit the truck, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, the jet dryer.
You know, I got to ask you this. If there was one track that you wanted Formula One to race on that they don't race on, what would it be?
Vegas.
No.
No, I'm kidding.
I've been on Vegas. Nah.
No,
So one dream track that they're currently not at.
I'd love to see him on Watkins Glen. I'd love to see him come up the hill after turn 1 and 2.
Road America, maybe?
They're at Road America.
Yeah, they're at
No,
Road.
they're at Circuit of Americas. Excuse me.
Dakota.
Yeah,
Down
Yeah,
in
Dakota.
Austin. Yeah. But Road
Dakota's a
America.
pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Were they still running Suzuka?
Yes.
What about Fukuyama? They're running Fukuyama. The Japanese track.
Suzuka.
That's
Suzuka.
Same place.
Is that Fukuyama?
Yeah.
What'd you say to me?
What'd you bet your mama? So,
Anyway, so
I really like the corkscrew down at.
at Laguna?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really have a love-hate relationship.
I'd love
with
to see him
that
run the old course at Sonoma, too.
the old one. before they
NASCAR screwed up screwed up Sonoma.
When they were running Sonoma in the 80s, we'd go down there every year, sit in turn 9.
The big carousel, left-hand carousel.
Man, there was nothing better than sitting on that dirt hill in turn 9 and watching that race. And the whole weekend. It was a great show. They run the
Southwest Tour.
Yeah, because we used to run the Southwest Tour with Coca-Cola guy.
Dirk Diggler?
Yeah. Jack Sellers.
Jack Sellers.
So we were friends with Sellers back in the day, and we'd run over there and just go over there and watch that road race. Oh my God, it was so freaking cool. And then they fucking ruined it.
Whatever track you choose, I think F1 has a rule where the track has to be 2.5 miles or 3 miles in length at least for them to race on.
So I'd go with Salt Lake. Just like go and watch.
Take him to Sarth. Get it done.
Yeah.
How about the Isle?
Road America.
How about the Isle of Man?
Oh, Road America. They don't race Road America?
Bathurst.
Bathurst.
That would be cool.
Oh,
that would
no.
be cool.
Not Bathurst.
That would be cool.
That's small cars only. Small, slow cars only.
Oh,
Bathurst. Those walls.
There's some
I'd buy
wonderful
a ticket.
corners in that.
I would buy a ticket to go
There's
watch that one in
beautiful.
person.
We got to fly all the way to Australia. to watch it.
I would love to go to Bathurst.
Yeah.
Watching, especially when they come up over the peak and start coming back down when they're picking up speed.
Yep.
And coming through right before they come up to, what's that, like turn 15, turn 16, when they come down the big hill and have the big wide open. Oh my God, right there. It's so freaking cool to watch that.
Yeah, that's fun in iRacing.
Yeah.
I tried that hard. I tried working that track hard.
I hit those walls real hard in iRacing.
Mike Davis says they need to run Nuremberg. There's like 190 corners in Nuremberg.
It's like 13-minute laps.
Germany,
A whole bunch of, that's
It's like
great.
I'm saying, run Sarth.
No, it's great for the GT3s.
I was thinking it'd be great to see them at Pocatello. I think that. Anyway, moving on. All right.
Lewis Hamilton does win. He's got a 30-point lead over Vettel with 7 races left. I'm proud of you guys. We talked about F1 there for a while. It's awesome. Assholes. Anyway. Let's go on it really quick. Another one. IndyCar. Return to Portland since 2007.
Yes, incredible.
I wish now that's
raced
the
on.
one I wish I could show video on. Oh.
That's the track I've raced on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're a little faster than that was. Did you see the Miata in the support race?
I didn't see that
The
one.
guy went all Gregson on the first lap. On the inside of the leader.
Did you see Marco Andretti on the first lap?
Oh yeah, it was upside down, not doing
That's
well.
the one I wish I could show video, but it's okay.
Yeah. Dude got pinched. I was trying to figure that out. That whole wreck was caused by a guy that kept finished the race.
Yeah, it was caused between Zach Veach and James Hinchcliffe. They were battling for 6 coming out of turn 3 in the first lap. And they both got together, and Hinchcliffe went for a spin. Everybody starts pulling, and
Veach pinched him.
Andretti was the one that actually went over Hinchcliffe and started rolling. So yeah. So, after that, I am proud to say, Japanese driver Takuma Sato wins his first race since I am proud to say his first win.
Is
His first win.
Feeling a little racist over there?
Yes, I am. Since his 2000 Indy 500 win, that's his first win.
That's
since
pretty
then.
good. Yeah,
So,
he's actually
Konnichiwa.
yeah,
Konnichi.
eighth different winner.
That's like all I got.
8th different winner this year. And,
Kokomo.
down the front chute. He was going, Banzai!
That's opening lap.
So Dixon has a 29-point lead over Rossi going to the last race of the season. Sonoma,
Awesome.
2 weeks from now. Double points.
I like to
Sonoma.
make fun of Indy, but I've been to several. I've been to far
Two
more
mains?
Indy races than really NASCAR or anybody else's. So
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about USAC again for the third week in a row.
USAC.
We're talking about that midget race. The Drive to Save
Don't
Lives.
point at me, man.
BC 39. No, it's presented by NOS Energy. It's actually going to be held starting tomorrow and Thursday. The final tally: 118 midgets entered. That breaks the record. That breaks the record for any national midget section race.
Kyle Larson's entered in that, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's recap Kyle Larson's week. All right, he gets done Sunday evening, pretty late, probably 10 o'clock by the time he cleared out East time, right? He had to fly all the way to the West Coast. He did the Kyle Larson Outlaw Kart shootout at Cycleland yesterday, right? Ran second. Kid beat him, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
He's got his saddle up. Of course, he's from the Northern California area. He probably said hello to somebody, and then he saddles up, flies all the way to Indy because he's
dealer.
Yeah, he's got his midget race tomorrow night. Ken Schrader does that type of stuff. Tony Stewart does that type of stuff. Kyle Larson does that type of stuff.
Yeah.
That's why when you had your Kyle Larson shirt on your
like
birthday
that.
celebration Sunday,
Great shirt,
I was
by
like,
the way.
that's a bitchin' shirt.
Yep.
I mean, you got to tip your
Hey,
cap to those kind of guys.
Somebody turned 50.
Well, that was a month ago, but we
Right.
celebrated a couple days.
We didn't
ago,
bring it up,
finally.
though. We brought up your 50.
My 50 was in July.
Right, but we brought it up on the show.
Yeah, well,
Oh, yes.
look at my hair.
So
though.
thank you. Yes.
He's so,
Happy
of course
birthday.
he is Asian.
Right.
But he's still
I
got
mean, he
black
looks
hair.
35.
I mean, look at my head.
Right?
I've been gray since you've known me. 10 years.
Yeah, they're about.
Yeah, fuck. I've been gray forever. Even LeBron, like 75.
Yeah, I know, right?
Rare old man LeBron.
You're asking TV coverage for that race. It's going to be on NBC Sports on Friday, tape delayed. So,
Hey.
other USAC news: the Ted Horn 100 at DeCoin for this USAC Silver Crown race. 41 cars entered for that race.
The Silver Crown race had 41 cars on dirt at DeCoin.
Well, they took 30,
That's awesome.
but Chris Wyndham
Critter Wyndham.
again.
Chris the Critter
that
Wyndham.
race.
Bear assistant. We ain't coming, buddy.
Right? I know. I'm trying to see if somebody will come over here. I'm texting Alex Hibbert. I'm like, hey, come over.
Yeah.
Give me my beer.
Okay.
One more piece of news, real quick,
go ahead.
on USAC.
You got like we got like 7 more minutes till we call our guests.
Okay, the ARCA race that was run on yesterday, today's Tuesday,
On dirt.
at DeCoin, was won by USAC National Midget Points leader Logan Seavey,
Logan Seavey, outlaw card kid from where?
California.
Red Bluff,
Yeah,
California.
yeah, won the ARCA race
Him
yesterday
and
on
his,
dirt at DeCoin.
and they have run at the Topher Classic up here.
Yep.
And
Yes.
I'll be that race right there, as a matter of fact. That's on that picture right there. Junior was #1 qualifier for that race. And I believe it was Logan Seavey that got DQ'd when he won the main because he was too light.
Yeah.
I will never have that problem.
We blew up in the main. Didn't have
Did
very-
you?
Yeah.
Damn it.
But we were there.
Yep.
They knew we were there. #1 qualifier.
I remember that. I was there. So yeah,
Got wrecked. Broke. That was a bad weekend.
that's all I got as far as national news.
We'll start talking about the Salt City 100.
Salt City 100.
Salt.
Get up here.
Hey, I'll take a double. Or a single. Another. Whatever. Fuck. All right. So, Salt Lake.
So like I was there.
I flaked.
Where were you?
I had
Where were
family
you?
coming
Oh,
in.
he's not even here.
Right. That's how much he cares. I was all really
start-
kind
we'll
of set
start.
to go, but then
You had family or something?
yeah,
Okay.
I had an extended family come into town for
So
the
it's-
for the balloons for the balloon
Yeah.
fest, which I had no idea was this weekend. I thought it was next weekend.
There was other people interested in going, and
yeah, so I flaked. I'm a bastard.
that's okay. I went myself. I met some friends there, and hung out in Ryan Newman's
Thank you,
pit. Ryan Newman was driving for David Perry that night.
Very cool.
Hung out in this pit, and 26 cars I believe entered. 25 took time in qualifying. Jeff Bergner set quick time with a 12.683.
Yeah, he got it done in qualifying.
That's good, right?
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of qualifying, let's talk about Justin Segura.
Yes. Oh. Pause for that. Keep talking about it. I'll cue it up.
Okay.
Because
So-
they're going to block us for that.
So
I was gonna
25
say.
cars. Let's talk about the last
25,
race.
26,
The last
yeah.
race of the sprint car race, I believe, other
Yeah.
than Utah State Championships, I think they have. But the last big sprint car race at Rocky Mountain Raceways. And we had 9 of our local guys trek down there, which was really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's from a guy who's never been there, by the way. He's
Well, I
never
mean,
been there.
for
Yeah,
9
chance.
people to haul down there
Yeah,
to...
and you'd
to
never go.
Had a chance.
Just cue it up.
I do want to mention for this particular race, 25, 26 cars. Of course, the Utah contingent was there. We had a nice Idaho contingent that went.
Sure.
Two drivers from California, Audra Cicely and Austin Carter, were there. Okay, Levi Rose from Washington was there, and Ron Larson
from Quesnell, British Columbia,
was there.
Hey, bro, how are you, man? Yeah.
So good to see those drivers.
And also, you're forgetting one.
Good.
Kyle Alberding.
That's
Roseburg,
Alberding
Oregon.
was there?
Yep.
I got to talk. Hang on before you play that loud stuff you're playing over there.
It's not.
I got to talk about that. On the way over there, they were going through I-80 on the center of northern Nevada, and something happened to Andy Alberding's truck, and it blew up.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but they stopped at the Dodge dealer in Elko and actually got some, either bought a truck or rented something. I don't know what their deal was, but they barely made it to the racetrack, right?
Right.
You were there, so I'm sure you saw him pull in. And Kyle Alberding started last and made the final invert, if I remember right. And something happened. He was running great. Something evidently happened.
So I want to say he didn't even make 25 cars. I don't think he made qualifying either. So that's why I said it's either
he
25
started dead last.
Yeah.
So he must have missed qualifying.
Yeah. So 26 cars in actuality was there.
And I don't know what happened to him during the main, but Kyle was.
I know.
His lap times were right there with the fast guys, so he was going to have a good run.
I know exactly what happened to him. But Jeff Berger did set quick time, and we're going to talk about in qualifying Justin Segura.
So wrong button.
Let me set this up really quick before
It's been 6 months and he still hits the wrong button.
before you hit play.
It's like when I go in the toolbox and you open up every tool drawer except for what you need, Rolling Rock. Yeah.
Mossy Rock beer.
Right.
So
Yeah,
Justin
set it up.
Justin takes a green flag for his qualifying lap. He hauls off at turn 2, down the backstretch into turn 3, and then we start seeing. Well, actually, during his warm-up laps also, we start seeing like a mist of some sort coming out of the back of his car. Fuel coming out of the back of his car.
Not good.
Comes around turn 3, slams on the brakes coming out of turn 4, and climbs out of the car, and this is what it looks like.
So there's Justin.
And there is Nacho
Nacho right there.
running to him. Yep. Fire crew?
They're hanging out over here.
Yeah, they're on the scene finally.
Right? No, they showed up.
Hey, we got a little bit of water.
And now you see Nacho. He's a little bit upset. Well,
Understandably.
yeah.
He did better than I would have.
Oh, yeah,
I would have
there we
been
go.
hitting
Put
people
the
by
big-
now.
put the big truck on him.
Nacho's still mad yelling.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. Don't hurry, dude.
No, you're fine.
No. And
Just a methanol fire. We're good.
So obviously Nacho was upset about that he had to be the first one to his son to help him out. So
and you were telling me that they found the fuel cap. Was that you that was telling me they found the fuel cap?
yeah,
in the seat area?
I was standing there with Aaron McPeak. We're looking over the car, and Aaron looks into the cockpit, and he found the fuel cap inside the cockpit. So talking to Nacho, he says that possibly the fuel cap was faulty of some kind. He thinks that during the warm-up lap or during the qualifying lap, when Justin got on the brakes, the fuel cap shot forward into the cockpit, and then
Doused Justin and fuel.
going to the fuel went forward as
As
well.
soon as he let off
And-
the gas, some like probably going into one, it ignited the fire, and it took a minute for it to burn
Yeah,
on Justin. Yeah, because I'm sure he was wearing his triple layer. And those guys are big on safety, so thank God our friend Justin's okay.
Yes. Yeah. Second degree burns to his right arm. That was the worst of it. He had some burns on his neck,
Arm, neck,
and
and
his knee
yeah.
as well. But
Could have been a lot worse.
I
so.
visually saw when he came out of the ambulance. I was right
So-
there before he got treatment, and the skin was peeling off his arm.
So, like in the video, when you watch him, he's running, he's trying to take his fire suit off. For the people who don't know, the sprint cars run on what type of fuel?
Methanol.
Methanol.
Yeah.
And what color does that burn?
Clear.
It's clear. It's
Yeah.
visible.
So, he's doing his days, not Days
Sure.
of Thunder. But
We all
his,
remember Rick Mears at Indy and stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
everybody jumping around like they got ants in their pants. People
Right.
are burning.
Yeah.
and
One
the
of the
fire
things
crew, of course, was...
we could talk about this when we get to topic
Right.
if you want,
Yeah,
because I'd like to talk
definitely
about
get
that
there.
later.
We got like 3 minutes to get over to Numbnut.
Well, do we have time now?
We got like...
Why are you calling our guest numbnut?
Golly.
You called him Thunder Penis.
Well, it's off air. But one of the things we do as a promoter, we always talk to the fire crew every night prior to them going out. And Darren Peterson and I always have a really good communication about. We have cars that run alcohol or methanol alcohol, whatever you want to call it, in the Royal Purple Modified series. And when we do, we always have a conversation about which car, and especially nights when they don't have the sprint cars running, because those come out with their dry chemical extinguishers. How you dilute methanol is with water. You just dilute it to it won't burn. Dry chemical doesn't work as well on it. You just splash it with water. You just hit it with water and dilute it to where it won't burn. So,
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe those guys needed to get educated a bit on that.
Yeah.
And God bless Meridian Speedway. And
Yeah.
usually Rocky Mountain Raceways, it's their last year. I'm going to shit on them a little bit here. Usually they're first rate. But I know that they've had some personnel changes and some things down there. So I don't want to shit on them too bad.
Yeah, I mean, my takeaway from that was they definitely had a hiccup there on that incident. But normally they're usually on top of things. So.
Yeah, that's sad. And I'm glad everybody was okay. And those guys have really helped people.
That could have been far worse.
Are you ready for our guest?
I'm ready.
Well, are you calling our guest?
Oh, yeah.
You were going to text him and call him and all.
I already messaged him. Like, give me the
Give me the middle finger.
Well,
right. Hey, I want to shout out to our listeners tonight. If anybody out there would like to sponsor the show, I want to appreciate Chase is on board. Bench 27, I don't know who you are, but thanks for coming. Mike Davis, soon-to-be champion of some modified series that I don't name on the air.
Who will be here in studio next week.
Perfect.
Nice.
And newlywed.
He's wed?
Newly championed.
Yes.
Is he wed?
He is wed. He made it legit.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm so jealous. Part of his honeymoon, he went to the World of Outlaws.
Right.
Up at Skagit.
Did you see
went
all
to
the
the dirt
pictures
cup?
of him?
Oh, Mike, good for Mike. Mike's
Right?
good people, man. Him and his dad and his whole
So,
family.
I mean,
good folks.
between
Miranda's cool. They're all cool.
Yeah.
locking up a championship, hopefully, on his next start, getting married.
He's got things going right for him right
Getting
now.
in. Apparently, the 57 Iron Duke is going to be coming back out.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. In the
All right.
mini stock class, we got a couple of races there.
Well, so Mike, next week I want to say hello to Jeremy White and
Yeah.
Mike and Eric are
Hi,
watching
Jeremy.
tonight from the Redbone camp. Sure appreciate them.
I got
Jared
too many
Morgan.
buttons here.
That's an Irish.
Jared Morgan?
Yeah, Jared Morgan. He's trying to paint our series. He's all about paint.
Paint.
That's his thing. He paints. He paints race cars.
He creates liveries.
Donovan never
Donovan-
hits the right button the first time.
Well,
he
that's
says.
what she said.
Yeah, he likes to make fun of me. He actually is the one who showed me a lot of this whole multi-camera stuff. So a lot of that concept that we had when we were talking about it actually came from Jared Morgan.
Are you a nerd?
Jared is far more nerdy than I'll ever be.
God bless nerds. Tip
Gotta
your
love
hat.
him.
Give an unsung clap
to my 5'2" little buddy. This one's for you.
Are you ready? Are you drinking your beer?
Gotta lube up.
Still both.
Colton.
Colton Nelson.
Latham, we are watching as well. Cover dirt. Latham wants dirt.
Keep up the good work, guys. Hey, boys.
All right, let's do this shit.
Well, you gotta dial it.
I'm.
Isn't that cute? They're getting lubed up for each other.
Right.
Colton and Donovan.
It's a special relationship we have. You know, mini stalkers. That's what we do.
Yeah, I was way before you.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, fuck. Fuck. Lip.
Hey, he's supposed to be working.
I'm reporting stuff here.
He's
Hey,
Boys,
Colton Nelson.
Colton Nelson.
Hey,
what what is going on?
Hey, homie.
Hey, how are you, my friend?
Oh, I can hear you. It's a little bit quiet, but
There we go.
Well, good deal. We want you quiet. That's fantastic.
we're
Todd
quiet.
Labronte here with DJ Everett and Donovan Johns. And our guest in shit, they're on the phone. I can't even talk. On the phone.
Have no words.
We have no words. Is Colton Nelson. All right, Colton, how are you, my friend?
oh, I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
I'm drunk. How are you?
Oh, I'm well on my way.
Sweet.
Congratulations. That's
Nice.
You're gonna
good.
fit in fine.
I remember
Tuesday
when
night.
Colton was really young and we used to sneak him beers. Now he's just right out in front. He doesn't care no more. He's just drinking beers. That's good. Don't tell my
yeah,
dad. Remember that, Colton? Yeah, don't tell my dad, man.
Yeah, and now I'm with my dad.
Oh, hi, Dad. well, hold on, Pops.
Hey, Colton, we
We
definitely
never snuck you beer, Colton.
yeah, I did. I'm not gonna lie. Colton, definitely appreciate you coming on Turn5.Live tonight here on the show. We sure appreciate that. I've been wanting to get you on for quite a while, so that's kind of neat for you to come in. Colton, tell the guys, when did you start racing? Tell everybody on the show, when did you start racing?
All right, so I can't remember if it was exactly 2009 or 2010, but it was a year or two after my dad took over the track.
At Meridian
And-
here. You didn't race
Yep,
over
at
at
Meridian
Roseburg
Speedway,
or
yep.
anything, right?
Nope. It was my first ever race was Meridian Speedway in Victor Clark. I don't know if he'd let us run it or we rented it or whatever, because I think I was about 11 or 12. I started in Victor Clark's Bandolero was my
Wow.
first ever race.
Jesus.
Wow.
And it was just kind of I was hanging out with my middle school friends, and my dad's like, here's a race car, let's go try this thing.
Your middle school
And-
friends.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
Yep.
How'd it go for
And
you?
So my dad and my uncle Tyler and my uncle Vince all helped on it.
Vince
And
Sullivan, old friend of mine.
Yeah, Vince Sullivan. Yep. So I ended up, I think I wrecked the car in the heat race or something. Put it in the front chute wall, and it was kind of like questionable if I was going to keep, if I was going to be a race car driver or not. And then I did the one race in the Bandolero, and I cost my dad some money. So then I don't think we never did another Bando race after that. And then I think, but shortly after he got me in, I ran a couple different junior Stingers that a couple different people owned before me and my dad finally got our own.
Right on. And then you dominated the Hornets. I remember watching run the Hornets, and I was just giggling, going, "Oh my God, he has no fear."
So
yeah, it was so I did about a year and a half of junior Stingers, and I was just looking at my trophies. I think I won the championship in 2010 or 11 for the junior Stingers.
Yeah.
And then it was, I think 2012, I won the Hornet championship.
So Colton, this is DJ. Speaking of 2012, that 100 lapper, one of the 100 lappers. Do you remember that night?
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that night?
It's hard to say. You're gonna have to refresh.
So my very first Hornet race was a 100 lapper that Colton won.
Oh yeah, you rented the car that
I rented the yellow 4 rent car, and you won that race. And I actually finished third in my very first Hornet race, was 100 lapper. But Colton lapped the entire field except for second place.
You know what's funny is I think in that race, is this like the late summer race? Yeah. I think that was my first start in Art Heath's Blue GT, and I think you actually took me out in that race.
Yeah. Back then I had no idea what I was doing. I was just driving the car.
That was my first ever Hornet start.
Hey,
and I think
tires
I
are better than 4, Colt.
10, 15 laps, and all of a sudden I had the 07 coming down on me. I was like, what the hell?
All I can say is I have never once in my life ever taken anybody out intentionally.
Oh no! I
That
saw
was
the
just
pictures.
pure
It was
stupidity. just pure rookieism.
That happens.
Yeah.
Good Lord. And then you moved into the mini stocks. Let's talk about that. Mini stocks had to have been a blast for you.
Right. Yeah. No.
You went front wheel drive style, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, it was all fun because it's I've tried recalling exactly how my whole racing career kind of happened because my dad always just I was always in 2 different classes at once. My dad always dropped something on me halfway through a season, and so it was Hornets, and then I think halfway through a Hornet season I started running the mini stock, and then halfway through that mini stock season I started running the non-wing sprint car. So it's really hard to keep track of what years I did what and when I started doing what season.
It's starting to run together, huh?
Yeah, no, and especially looking back now, it all blends together really well. But the mini stock was a lot of fun, and I'd still love to run that Focus again. It was a really fast car, and
sure was.
It was pretty funny looking back on it now because my dad and my Uncle Tim tried to take it back to the street stock days and set that thing up like a rear wheel drive.
I remember.
Yeah,
so do I.
So the very last race of that season, I was like, no, I'm gonna do this all by myself. So I set that thing up just like I did the Hornet. It was my best race of the season. I did from the back to the front, back and forth with Jason Sanders, and I ended up finishing second to that race. Yeah.
If you're running with Sanders, you're doing something well.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah. No, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a good time in that Hornet car.
You mentioned something that was kind of interesting there, bouncing between like a mini stock and a non-wing sprint car. What a different discipline.
Oh my God.
A front wheel drive Ford, whatever it was, to a V8 rear wheel drive. Big old tire freaking Pepsi sprint car.
My first year in both.
And a high schooler at that age.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like a junior or a sophomore in high school. Yeah.
And when you do that, what was the mindset? Did you ever have to just like breathe and think for a second and clear the mechanism? What did you do? What was your way of doing it?
It's funny. Back then, I was just the way I look back on it now is I just kind of did it because. That's just what I did on the summers. Like I tried football in high school and I was like, no, it interferes with racing too much. And I wrestled a little bit in high school, but
you're Nelson.
Looking back on it now, it was just something like, oh, my dad, like I'm the 4th generation to do this, and the only 4th generation currently at the speedway that does it until my cousin Jet started racing this year. It was just kind of something I did, and I didn't really think about it too much.
Now, Colton, was there any rhyme or reason to that setup, or was it just like, hey, we got a sprint car, let's go sprint car. Hey, we got a mini stock, let's go mini stocking. Hey, we got a modified, let's go modify it.
No, yeah. So
or
when
was
I first
there
started
a thought like, hey, let's go this way?
No, the non-wing and the mini stock was a lot of Don Newman.
Just hey, got a car. Let's go.
Yeah, that's when Don Newman was real involved in the speedway, and the mini stock. My dad and I started building the Acura that I won the Junior Stinger Championship in. We started building that as a mini stock, and it's still halfway built, and we still have it. And that motor's never been fired. So when I finish that mini stock, it's gonna be a real badass.
There you go.
So Newman just kind of gave us that focus, so we did it, and we just kind of did it because that's what he gave us. And then I remembered, just hanging out with my buddies, walking around at at a practice night at the Speedway, I think. And I walked up to Brad Hunsaker, who had the barn burner that we have now.
Right.
And my dad and Newman were looking at it, so I was like, "Oh, what are these guys doing?" And it was either Don or my dad, and they're like, "Hey, Colton, what would you think about driving this?" I was like, "Oh yeah, that'd be cool." And they're like, "Okay, well, go get your driver's suit." And I was like, "What?"
Cool.
How does it start? What does it do?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's how it was. And at that time, it had a built 360 and a non-wing car, and non-down tube torsion bar and all that. So, so I ended up going out there, and weirdly enough, a tie rod hyme end broke and put me in the front chute wall. It wasn't my fault, just something broke. But we totaled the car.
I'm sensing a front wall theme with first timers.
Oh yeah, first time ever in anything like a sprint car, anything like a real car. My first time ever in a real car, and we're in the front chute.
Ouch!
I remember that wreck.
Yep. So we bought the car, because that's how it goes. You test somebody's car, you end up buying it.
Yep.
And it just kind of went from there. I think I did about 2.5 years in non-wing sprint cars.
Yeah.
I got one win out of the whole thing. It was my prom night of high school. I skipped prom.
Oh yeah, I
And ended
remember
up getting my first non-wing sprint car race.
Yeah, worth it totally right there.
Oh yeah, totally. I skipped my high school graduation for Diamond Cup.
I remember that too. Yeah.
Oh, that's priorities. I like that.
Yeah.
That's my man.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's my man. I would expect nothing less.
So we ran the non-wing for a couple of years, and then shortly after that, you hop into a modified. Right?
Yeah, 2016.
So you did a little wing
I think,
sprint racing as well.
Yep. So I think it's hard to remember the years. It had to be 2014, I think, that I was running the non-wing, and then we got the wing sprint car, our red Gambler Lejeune.
Right.
Yep.
And at that point, we just got the car, and had a Ford motor from Don Newman in it, and I really didn't know anything about it, and we really didn't do much for setup. They just kind of threw me to the wolves every time, and we tried a little bit here and there. And I won a few heat races, and kind of held my ground in the mains. It was just kind of, first year in a wing sprint, straight out of a non-wing from a mini stock kind of thing.
Which is an easy transition. I mean, come on, really?
Yeah,
we all do it.
right there in the same. And so at the same time, I'm doing I did the non-wing and the red sprint car in about 15, I think.
Yep, that's about right.
And then in 2016 is when I had the red sprint car, and I raced the 99 Ellis for Rick Moran, Shake and Bake Motorsports.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Is when I started that.
That was in back at the B mods.
It was the first year NASCAR mods.
NASCAR mods.
Yeah.
So Wheeling mods. Yeah.
Wheeling American Series.
It was the B mod rule package, but A mods.
Yeah, as the
weren't there anymore, and it was-
NAAS, which is now the
Yep,
the
the
Pit Stop
NWAA,
USA.
Yeah, sure.
NASCAR Wheeling All American Series.
Yeah, that acronym's hard.
Yep. So that was 2016 is the first year of that, and we had Danny Cristiani as a crew chief, Rick Moran as a car owner, and
No wonder you did. Holy crap!
I totaled the car 4 times that year.
Yeah.
And we did everything but re-clip it. Me and my dad are in the shop every night, re-welding everything on it, just because, it was a really quick transition to everything that I was doing, and I made a lot of rookie mistakes, put the car on the wall a lot, or at least twice, and then I got put in the wall a couple times. Not going to mention any names. So we had to reload the car 4 times. Ended up winning the track championship, and falling short of the state championship by about 40 points.
Yeah.
To, Chris McKean in Twin Falls.
So Colton, I was going to ask you, one of the perks of winning under the NASCAR Home Tracks banner is you get to go to Charlotte, North Carolina, So tell us about your experience with that.
Oh man, Charlotte is probably one of my favorite times of the year. Like, I think Brian Wharf pretty much has the points tied up this year, and I'm super bummed that I don't get to go to Charlotte, because when you go to Charlotte, it is full, like, you feel like you're in the Cup Series, NASCAR hospitality. It's a really, really well-ran event, all red carpet, just amazing to be a part of. You're in the Westin Hotel, downtown Charlotte, right across the street from the NASCAR Hall of Fame. And there's a lot of downtime in between, so you get to walk through the whole Hall of Fame, and
Yep.
when you take the mom and the sisters, they get to go shopping in Charlotte's outlaw malls or whatever they do.
Kelly Jo likes to shop.
Oh, Kelly Jo loves shopping. She did a lot of Park City, Utah shopping this year.
Nice.
And then Charlotte is just an amazing event. It's they have all the traveling series, like the Mexico series, the Euro series, the Canadian series, the Wheeling Modified series. And one of my favorite memories is 2016. Burt Myers of the Wheeling Modified series. Everyone knows Burt Myers.
Yep.
He's one of my heroes. And they load us all up and they take us ice skating at the Checkers Ice Arena or whatever.
Nice.
And so, my dad and I, we had a couple drinks in us, and we're ice skating around this thing.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
And
Nobody went to the hospital?
I'm ice skating next to my dad, and Burt Myers is behind us, and I don't know it. So I shoulder check my dad. He hits the wall and falls, face first into the ice. So I'm laughing and I feel bad at the same time. And I look back and Burt Myers is like, "Oh, you just shoulder checked your daddy." Oh man, it was just. And then I got the opportunity to chat with Burt Myers a little bit after the banquet in the hotel bar there for a while. It was really cool to just chat with a hero like that of mine.
That's pretty cool. From the old madhouse, Burt Myers.
Yep.
I watched him run at, New Smyrna?
All those tracks down there.
Down there at south of Daytona Speedway, about 15 miles or so. And, they were out to lunch that night. They were just completely, he got out of his car and threw his stuff and said, "Get a new car," or something like that. I remember they were pretty fired up that night. All right, so you did extremely well and have continued to do extremely well in the Pit Stop USA Modified Series at Meridian Speedway. Currently running second in points. So Modified's fantastic, and I know you love to run them. But let's talk about my first love. Let's talk about sprint cars. Let's talk about strapping one on and getting it done. This year, one of the reasons I was real excited about having you coming on tonight was because your adventures up into Victoria, in Salt Lake, Roseburg, Monroe, the places that you've gone. I know that when you get out and you run those sprint cars at those different places, that's got to be the thrill of a lifetime. Talk about that a bit.
No, and it's funny because I think running NSRA sprint cars, King of the Wing, anything like just wing sprint cars has really just turned into my passion. Like I remember being when I was just running the mini stock and whatever, watching qualifying.
Oh yeah, it's still a thrill.
Back then I was actually working at the racetrack, stocking the soda coolers in the concession stands. So I'd sneak out and just watch NSRA qualifying. And I just remember watching all the big names like, oh man, he just turned a 12-1. Oh, he's down into the 11s, And now it's really cool to just be able to run with all my heroes.
Oh yeah.
And like Diamond Cup this year, we had a really sour turnout, but I ended up qualifying third in front of every other local car, Johnny Giesler, Brian Wharf, everybody else. And it was just such an amazing feeling to just look back and think about that. And every time I hit a new track in the sprint car, it's just so much fun. And it's such a big learning curve. And
I got to ask you, when you went on the ferry over to Victoria, did you have any problems because you were traveling with Brent Cool?
No, Brent. I never really traveled with Brent Cool. He's just always seems to be in the same place I am at the same time.
I've been in trouble with Dan Breach, Brent Cool, and Bob, or in Terry Benson and Mrs. Terry Benson. On the ferry dock, they told us once to turn around and go back. If the ferry was still here, you'd be on it leaving, going back to the United States. It was not pretty, but we had that was me and Breach, and Breach over there trying to explain that we weren't getting paid, but we're getting paid, and it was a scary deal. But that trip to Canada's got to be on your bucket list. That has to be one of the top things you've ever done.
No, yeah, I really enjoy the trip to Canada. Like this year, performance-wise, we didn't do well at all. I think we were doing about 13th or 14th. We were running about that, uh, that far back in the field, and we struggled, and we brought Moyne up there to help us, and we had Johnny Geezer as a crew chief, and it was just for whatever reason we just couldn't get the car figured out, and then that's just one of the toughest tracks to run in the Northwest, in my opinion.
Yep.
It's flat. It's a big. They call it a 4/10 of a mile. It's just flat. There's no grip. They call it a Kmart parking lot up there.
It's completely different. The entry to 1 and 2 is completely different. 3 and 4, and
oh yeah, 3 and 4 you enter in the 4th groove, and then you got to bring it down onto a grate like 3 and 4 in Meridian. You go through the hole, and it helps set your car up to come out of 4.
Yep.
And it's just a totally different racetrack, and we struggled a lot there this year, but the trip had a lot of really good stories. Getting off the ferry and trying to get to the racetrack is just a pain in the just pain in the ass. You got to go through 3 different roundabouts, and if you take a right instead of left, you're in downtown Sydney in the middle of this festival. It's
So you ran Monroe on the 3/8, right?
I'm sorry?
Did you run Monroe this year too as well on the 3/8?
Oh, yep. We did the Roy Price on the 3/8. It's really kind of sad pitting on the big 5/8, because we pit right on the top of the 5/8 at 3 and 4, and it's when we exit the 3/8, you go into 1 and 2 and down the back stretch of the 5/8, and you pit on 3 and 4 of the 5/8, and it looks like such a fun track to run. But they just repaved the 3/8 at Monroe this year.
Yes.
And last year it was rough. It had a lot of characteristic, which kind of made it fun to run.
Sure.
But we came back with softball size of asphalt in the radiator last year, and this year it has a lot of the same characteristics. The same bumps, the same this into that corner and this coming out of this corner, and but it was grippy, and it was about half a second or a second faster, and just a real smooth racing surface overall.
Well, Colton, I look forward to interviewing you on Thursday night before the King of the Wing show. We're going to try to get some of those interviews up on Turn5.Live. So DJ and I will be out there trying to get some interviews and getting your opinion on what's going down and who's the tough guys that you'll have to beat out to win the weekend. What's the future look like? Where do you want to end up if you I know you ran the K&N series a couple of times and had some fun there too, with some good cars, as a matter of fact, and did well. Where do you want to go? Is it the sprint cars, or would you like to go into the stock car deal?
It's something that I've been thinking a lot about the past couple of years, and I've gone a lot of back and forth, just kind of depending on the weekend that I run, and it's really difficult. Like, I really, really enjoy running the sprint car, and I love running the NSRA and the King of the Wing shows and going down to all these tracks and just racing with the best of the best in the country is one of my favorite things to do. But as of a plan for the future, I really just don't have one. It's just kind of rolling with whatever I have. And my dad said before, he lives vicariously through me, as in he can't race right now, or if he does, then it's just for fun.
Oh, so. I watch him when you're out running somewhere on a sprint car. I've been side by side with him as he's checking his phone, watching the race monitor. And I don't know how he does it. He's doing his business, which he's excellent at, keeping that all under control, watching race monitor, watching your lap times. And he's got to have ulcers or something. But
oh my god, I couldn't imagine it.
Yeah, Adam's the man. Just being able to control it all at once is
that weekend. You were in British Columbia, and I was watching Adam, and he was constantly just check. Yeah,
and we all were, because we all want you to.
No,
win,
and if we're not upkeeping him, he'll blow my phone up with text messages.
Well, it's a good thing we had a good night that night, because oh my god.
So Colton, speaking of King of the Wing, we know you're going to be there at Meridian. You going to follow the tour as well when they go to Kern County and Irwindale later in the year?
That's still up in the air. It's like running Salt Lake this weekend took a lot of convincing to the car owners, and we ended up doing well down there, and it was a lot of fun. So it kind of gives us a really positive vibe going into King of the Wing this weekend at Meridian. Our team is very just play it by ear. We don't plan anything really. It's just kind of like, okay, we did well here, so we have some good momentum going into this race. or okay, we did not do so well here, so I really have to step my game up and try a little harder for this one.
Well, we know you're trying full scoot boogie every time you strap into a car. You always have been.
Yeah.
And I know, Terry Benson, Brent Cool, your dad, the family that owns the race car there. And they are a family. All three of those guys are family. You know how it is.
Right.
Very, very good friends, very tight group. LBK, I'm sure you guys are going to be just fine with wherever you choose to go with the sprint car. We've enjoyed having you on tonight. Probably one of my best guests. I don't know about you. One of my favorite guests we have ever had on the show.
You haven't sucked, so that's good.
Lots to talk about.
There's no sucking going on.
Well, I would talk your guys' ears off forever. You know me. I'll just keep talking.
Yeah. We got a couple beers in you. Colton, you're a great kid. I live vicariously through you, too, watching you from a little boy grow up, and outstanding family. And we wish you the best, and let's have some fun down at King of the Wingland, huh? And enjoy the NASCAR series, you guys are running right there in second in points. You never know. Brian could have some bad stuff there happen. Let's hope he doesn't. He's your teammate. But Brian's great. He's one of the best drivers in the United States. We all agree. Anyway, pleasure having you on tonight.
Heck yeah, dude.
Definitely.
Yeah, good to hear about you and how everything's going. Say hello to your mom and dad and your sister, and we'll see you at the races, huh?
Yeah, will do. I really appreciate you guys having me on, and I appreciate the time and listening to me babble on about my past.
It's fine.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing more of your future.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
King of the Wing is going to be
Right on.
awesome. With the Royal Purple mods, with King of the Wing going on, it's going to be intense.
Yeah, that's going to be a great show. I'm fired up already. All right, Colton,
Right,
great
yeah.
job tonight, by the way. Great job on the interviews and stuff. You sound perfect. Great job.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it a ton.
Thank you. See you now.
All right, buddy.
See you guys.
Well,
All right.
did not suck.
That didn't suck.
That was awesome.
Didn't suck.
I
That was
think
awesome.
someone's deserving of a clap. Good
Colton.
job, Colton.
Colton, you have the clap.
Colton has a clap.
Colton has a clap.
Go see your
So,
doctor.
yeah, unsung heroes of the weekend. Let's talk about
There's
that.
only one unsung hero this whole weekend.
Who's that?
Meridian Speedway Fire Crew.
And they didn't even do well. They were dirty cupping, I guess.
They're to come. But I mean, come on. Compared to what we got going on everywhere else, we've said it time and time and time again that Meridian Speedway has the best officiating crew, maintenance crew, fire crew.
Agree.
What is Meridian Speedway lacking overall?
Nothing. That's why they're successful.
Right.
Yeah.
And Adam's done great, but it's
Right.
Adam's awesome, and he keeps it going. But really, I look back at 50 years worth of investment from all the families and all the fans and everything that's kept it going. The city fathers,
Right.
and then Adam's a shepherd of that at this point, and he's not letting anybody down by any means. And so it's our community.
Right.
It's the city of Meridian. It's our community of racers. And then Adam's our current shepherd, and he's kicking ass. So
Fuck yeah.
So it.
And in an era where racetracks across the country are closing down for one reason or another, Meridian Speedway is part of the history of the city of Meridian, and the city of Meridian just loves
Absolutely.
Meridian Speedway, so it's not going anywhere.
I mean, I grew up not racing, but racing and visiting tracks. College in Nebraska, Alabama, Louisiana, Pensacola, all over Florida, Georgia, California, Oregon, Washington, New Mexico, Idaho, Oregon.
But not Utah.
Fuck Utah.
You never been there.
I get pulled over every time I go to Salt Lake. I have like this
It's
phobia.
because we talked to him and tell him you're coming.
Right, and this was back in the 90s.
You been to a World of Outlaw race yet?
No.
I'm gonna take you to Eldora. My
love to go to
my
Eldora.
favorite sprint car track in the whole country. I'm gonna take you to
But
Eldora.
Meridian's crew.
Yeah, we're blessed, and we
Yeah.
and
It's
crazy thing
amazing.
is we've talked about it on the show too before, but with Meridian Speedway and Firebird both, we are completely spoiled rotten.
Yep.
So good for us. That's awesome.
Good stuff
That's
there.
awesome.
So-
And hold on, speaking of crew,
We got to talk about Salt City 100
Yeah, no.
eventually here.
Yeah.
have you guys see the flagman who flagged a guy in front of the leaders on a restart? Have you seen that yet?
Yeah. I'm pit out guy.
Right, your job.
There's more to this. I got some more to talk about because we just talked about sprint cars.
What's Meridian's? What's his name? Turn 3. The guy who races out.
Fuck.
Fuck. Come on, somebody throw me a
Somebody
bone.
tell
Somebody
me.
throw me a bone.
I can look at him and see him.
I know it every time. I look
know.
like, that's not Mike. It's
No, his last name. His son
God
was.
damn it.
His son was.
Come on, somebody seriously throw us a bone here.
What's the guy that works
Flagman
pit
out.
out?
Pit out guy, Meridian.
Because there's when you show this, I'm going to tell you about my.
Oh.
Donovan, don't put that on there.
I'm not, but let's just give that.
The guy's off screen here. Donovan is looking at his
one
Facebook
of your
page, and
friends?
I'm just saying that there's some things that we can't. We will get kicked off the air for.
No. We'll get like 20 more viewers.
Yep. I got to talk about this. When
Mike
I was
Davidson,
doing pit out one time,
Beckstead.
Craig Beckstead.
Yeah, Alicia.
Yes,
Alicia,
Craig,
thank you. Mike Davis, thank you.
Yeah, Craig Beckstead, nice man.
Dude, what a thankless job. Unsung hero.
Oh yeah.
Guy's freaking good.
Yeah.
Hold on.
All right, so I'm doing the NSRA race, right? And Ron Larson had pulled off like 5 laps before because something was wrong with his car, and we're green, right? And I'm working the track entrance, pit exit, right? And all of a sudden, I got the headset on, I can't hear shit, and I'm watching the race, and I'm making sure nobody's leaking oil, ready to throw the yellow flag. Behind me, they were trying to push Ron up so that he could come out if the yellow flag was going to fly, he'd come back out. Ron bumped the car and started it. He pulled onto the racetrack behind me, under green, in a sprint car. Donovan is queuing stuff
Oh, I
up.
saw that. Yeah, I saw that earlier today.
This didn't work out real well for those guys. Donovan's going to put this up on the screen here.
I
You'll
saw
be able
that
to see
earlier
this.
today.
All right.
This is Todd's fear when he goes to sleep at night.
Right? Oh, wait. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, so, Craig, you do a great job.
Yes, he does.
Because you're not. Yeah.
Yeah, I do okay. I've never done this.
I don't know about that.
Not yet.
Shut up.
They're still Twin Falls this weekend.
These guys are
wait,
gonna
hold on.
sue us. This is like Formula One. Look at this guy. Hey, I'm coming on the racetrack.
What?
This guy in the stands is like, what the
I think we had a
shit?
communication problem there.
That's a problem. That's why you don't.
That's gonna leave a mark.
That's why you don't jump on the track and go past this old stop sign.
Well, let's just go ahead and flag on a car right in front of the fucking.
I bet
field.
they didn't flag him out.
No. According to
I bet
a
he
couple
was-
of the last updates, is the guy just I don't know if he turned his back, walked away, did whatever, just wasn't paying attention.
No, the guy went thunder penis and decided he was going to miss the start of the race and jumped out there. And you can't go full thunder penis right in the middle of a freaking green like that. You can't do it. You got to have officials tell you when to come on and off the track. In fact, this weekend, Saturday, remind me at the pit meeting. Saturday. Remind me. I want all the guys listening that are a part of our deal to remind us not to do that. We'll talk about it
Don't go
because
Thunder
Where,
Penis.
where are we at?
Magic Valley Speedway.
In the pit
Twin
meeting.
Falls, Idaho.
Twin Falls, Idaho.
Royal Purple Modified.
The cars and the stars.
I10.TV.
Here they come.
So in the pit
Sorry.
meeting, I want you to say to your drivers, do not go Thunder Penis on me.
Don't go full thunder penis. You can go half thunder penis sometimes. That's okay.
3/4 Thunder Penis,
Why don't you
only
go
with
get me a
10 to
beer?
go.
Why don't you go get me a beer there, Thunder Penis?
Oh.
We got Salt City 100 to talk about.
All right, get going.
All right, so why don't we queue up Salt City 100 with another beer?
You want a beer?
And
Seriously, I'll go
we'll
get it.
go- Yeah, I'm almost
I'll
done.
go get it.
No, we got it. We'll let the,
Here we go
the
again. I'm
THC.
going to talk to you about the Salt City 100 again.
Hey.
Here we go.
I almost made it to the Salt City 100. By almost, I mean like Wednesday. I flaked out on you.
What do you want?
The little red stouty
So,
sessions. All right,
so let's talk. So I know some of our viewers went too. Alicia, who's viewing right now, she went. I saw her down there as well. We have some other viewers that went. So please chime in, with your thoughts on the race.
because
And
2/3 of us did not make it.
yeah, and a bunch of people from here went as well. So we talked about Jeff Bergener setting quick time, Justin Segura, his problems in qualifying.
Thank you, sir.
So the race, the way the race was formatted, 40 laps, first 40 lap segment.
Yeah,
Did we do
you're gonna
enough?
have to explain this to me because I am. Still
Okay,
haven't
first
figured
40
this
lap segment.
Well, hold.
We're gonna do a 40 lap segment,
Right. So how many laps were total?
100.
100 laps.
Yeah,
So they broke up into 40,
and
20?
20. Yeah, first 40,
Okay.
go balls to the wall. Second 40, okay, whoever's still left over goes in the second 40. I think they inverted the top 4 finishers. I believe they
Oh,
Some-
hang on a second here. I got a text. We have a legend watching the show tonight. We have somebody that
Subzaretta?
No, not a Zubzaretta, but close. Steve Castile is watching the show tonight.
Banky?
Oh,
Wow.
Steve,
Hey,
buddy.
everybody, shout out to Spank.
Hey, Spank. Yeah, I know.
Spankage on the show. Thank you, Steve, for watching.
Yeah,
One
Love you,
day we'll
love you.
have you on the air.
yeah. So, yeah, you guys want to chime in and talk about the race?
He says the show is
By all means.
buffering only on his place because he's the Charlie Brown
Yeah,
of
you're
all
still
the
on
Charlie
dial
Browns.
up there, dude.
Yeah, get it. Mix in some cable internet there, brah.
Bruh. Yeah, even Cotton was
Even
like,
the
what the
dog
hell, dude?
outside. It's not Cotton.
Okay.
Send us Riley.
Send it. Just send it.
So 40, 40, 20.
Yeah, 40, 40, invert the top 4 for the next 40 is what they did. And then for the 20, top 8.
So the first 40, those are scheduled for, what, 40 minutes, right? Each.
That's what it was. But it's 40 laps.
I don't think the refrigerator closed.
Jesus
hearing
fucking
beep.
Christ in your refrigerator.
I know. It's a smart refrigerator. It's going to text me here in a minute.
Shit out of this fucking.
So your question was again?
So
It was 40?
each, yeah, so 40 laps, 40
40
minutes. So, the allotted.
No, it was 40 laps.
They're expected to go 40 minutes, though, right? The sprint cars.
It did. No, it was
12-second laps equals 40 minutes.
What?
No.
No.
Or that's how long we ended up taking.
Yeah, that's what
No,
it was.
I
There was
get
three.
confused.
it was
We're going
300
to talk
minutes.
about that. We're going to talk about that.
Let's do it.
Do it.
40 laps. Second 40, inverted to the top 4. The last 20, top 8 from the second segment goes
Okay.
into the for a run of $10,000. So let's talk about the first 40.
10 grand to
Yeah.
win.
So let's talk about the first.
Let's emphasize that for a minute.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That's a lot.
I mean, in race dollars, that almost covers entry.
Almost.
That almost covers the tire bill Ryan Burdett burned up.
But 10 grand, I mean, as a
is
mini stalker, the biggest paycheck we've ever gotten out, ever, in the decade that I've been there at Meridian, was a $500 payout.
What?
Yeah, it's the first race of the year.
And there's a lot of 410 and 360 motors that got burned up in this race as well. So
And those aren't cheap.
10 grand.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, 10K to
talk about that.
win.
Yeah.
Well, when you're not
That's like
spending,
what I make a year.
Hang on. And I got to say this because the track's closing. When you're not spending your money, it gets easier to spend.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
And why are they not building another racetrack? I mean, we just talked about the beauty of Meridian Speedway.
Right.
There's nobody getting rich at Meridian Speedway. They're making okay money. They're doing fine. They're a good member of our community. Nobody's getting
Ain't
wealthy.
nobody Bill Gates from
And
Meridian.
they're doing it perfect. They're doing as good as it
Yeah.
can be done.
Yeah, nationwide,
So-
considering that's one of the best tracks you're going to find.
And nobody's doing anything, nobody's making a millionaire out of themselves. They're doing fine. They're a good member of our community.
Yeah.
So,
First 40.
40.
24, 25 cars took the green flag.
Mm-hmm.
Giesler and Brian Wharf were out there starting to run away with it. The
Yeah,
story,
and I'm sitting there thinking Wharf's going to come on. I'm thinking Wharf's
So,
just sitting there waiting.
yeah, Wharf was leading a good portion of that race, the
He didn't
first
lead.
40.
Nope.
I thought he led.
Who was there?
No, I don't think he led at all. I think he was always sitting second or third right in there. You had Bergener out front. You had Giesler past Wharf and got out front.
I don't know. I thought Wharf was leading it just the first 40 segment. I thought he led the first X amount of laps, and then Giesler got by him.
I don't remember him leading. But go ahead.
Anyway, the story of the first 40 was cautions
Yes.
and cautions.
Yes.
And more cautions.
Yes.
Somebody said in that first 40 segment, I wasn't counting, but there was 60 to 70 laps of cautions
Good.
in that first 40.
Fucking Lord.
I did watch the
Now,
time.
how many critically bad wrecks happened in those first 40 laps?
It was spin outs, cars stopping on the track. Maybe one or two critical wrecks, but other than that, it was mainly just spin outs and cars stopping on the track. And the thing about it was
Sorry, back.
just your casual yellow flags. It seemed like it took them 10 laps until they went back to green
clean
flag
them back up.
racing. I don't know what the method of the math is there was for RMR, but
Somebody took the Twin Falls.
Oh, come on now. Don't be cutting down other racetracks.
Yeah.
Let's go. Cut down the one that's dying. Next.
Moving on. So so the first segment
So-
took a lot of caution laps.
45 minutes. Total.
How many people? Because most of these sprint cars that I know of will run on a fuel basis.
Yeah.
They want to weigh as light as possible to complete the race.
They fill up for like 80 laps. They top them off. But as soon as the cars go on the racetrack, you start counting all the laps. Mm-hmm. And there's an X amount of laps when they'll stop and refuel them.
Sure.
And they have a dial jet. They can actually turn the fuel up, mixture up, and stuff like that. They can actually help themselves on yellows. Whether it happens now or not, who knows?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Right. So in the caution laps versus green flag laps, what happened?
Say it again now. Caution flag.
Oh, so by the end of the race, into the first segment.
In the first segment, there were cars that were running out of fuel. Hanging out in Marc Newman's pit, he actually ran out of fuel with 5 laps to go. They actually pulled the car in and found that he had a broken rock arm, so that ended his night after the first 40 lap segment. But there was other cars that did run out of fuel as well.
Yeah, I think Jimmy Waters ran out of fuel. There was a couple of them that were sputtering
Colton,
really hard at the end.
I believe he ran out of fuel as well.
Asked Colton.
Yeah, he ran out of fuel
Colton
as well.
calls back.
Yeah. But that was the story of the first 40 lap segment. Giesler, took the win in the first segment. Worf finished second in the first segment. Let's talk about the second segment. They inverted the top 4, and Giesler again.
They didn't eliminate anybody at this point.
No. And the rule is that if you went down a lap or 2 or 3, every time a caution flag came out,
They like you dog them?
you get a lap back.
Everybody got a lap back, or just one car.
Everybody gets a lap back.
Everybody.
If you're
We're reinventing circle track racing.
yeah.
That sounds like ideal to me. That's what I would do.
I can't wait for the Donovan series. I can't wait for the front wheel drive Donovan Nationals.
Front wheel drive modifieds coming soon.
Yeah. So if you were 3 laps
Everyone's
down,
on the lead lap at the end. Yeah. Everybody, guaranteed.
No, everybody's in your trailer yelling at you at the end of the night. That's what happens.
So if you were 3 laps down, a caution flag came out, you get 1 lap back. So you're 2 laps down. Another caution flag would come out, you'd be 1 lap down. They had 7 or 8 cautions in that first one. So a lot of people got their laps back.
It took an hour and 15 minutes for the first 40 or something crazy. It was dumb.
It was pretty bad. The second segment went green flag racing as well, and Giesler won that again. But this time, Ryan Burdett, Kyle Bergner, Kyle Aberdeen started showing their muscle. In addition to Worf.
Kyle Aberdeen from not even hot lapping. He had 3 laps of hot laps before the main. Never seen the racetrack.
No?
Right.
Well, he only had a short haul.
Only, from Roseburg.
Right.
Correct. Yeah.
Like, Utah. Where the fuck is Utah?
One of them flyover states.
I know.
In that second segment, Sierra Giesler lost a motor.
Seriously?
Segment. Yeah.
Terrible.
Damn.
It gets worse for that team. But anyway.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. So the final 20 lap segment, here's where a little bit of controversy took place.
Just a little.
Which
We had Colton on the phone, too. We didn't talk about it.
Yeah, I was kind of
Why
hoping
did we miss this?
I was kind of hoping to talk to him about this.
I'm calling
one here.
Colton back.
Because, really, he did nothing wrong. Right? He did great.
Yeah.
Colton did what he was...
Still slightly confused over it. Maybe you have a better explanation than me.
I don't.
But that final 20 lap segment, they're supposed to take the top 8 from
And
the
8
second.
cars, all on the lead lap now, all of a sudden.
Right. Because it's a new segment, so they restart them.
It was like a
3
separate
laps.
race. You earned your right to run the last 20 laps by running those 80 laps and getting in position.
Yeah.
And then once that 8 laps, or those 8 cars went to the 20 laps, it was a whole different race. From what I understand, correct? Or am I full of shit?
That sounds about like how they set it up.
Yeah.
Sounds fucking crazy.
But I think it's perfect. I think every race should be ran this way.
I can't wait for the Donovan.
Yeah. So the way it was described to me.
Pink and blue neon, Dirk Diggler.
Neon green, yeah.
So the way it was described to me, there was a scoring discrepancy with the 77 of Audrey Cicelli.
Yeah, they didn't move her back.
Yeah. So they instead of 8, they took 9 going to the final 20 lap segment.
Yeah, and
Makes
Colton,
total
Colton
sense.
would have been. Colton was actually, if you look at what happened on the racetrack, it looked like he was 9th. But in reality, they never put the 77, even though she got her lap back, they never put her to the end of the line.
Right.
They left her in her
That's what
position.
it's described as
And
well.
gave her lap back at the same time.
Yes, which
Who ran this race?
I don't know.
Right.
So, yeah, Donovan is putting a lot of hate on Utah. That's what they're asking.
Right?
Yeah, you're in Utah.
I'm sorry.
So,
I wasn't there. I just watched the Facebook Live
You've
videos.
never been there. You have no opinion.
I have a lack of desire at this point.
You're drinking all these little hand
My
grenades.
little hand grenade beers.
So essentially, what happened there is Colton went, and I read his Facebook post on it. He goes, "I went and talked to the officials right away. It had nothing to do with anything," and they realized they screwed up right away.
Yeah.
And figured out, and they did a promoter's option to put a 9th car in because they already told Cicely to get her car ready.
Right.
So okay, that's up to them. They paid more money out.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the last 20 laps was
so
a 8
the
or
nine-
slash 9 car shootout.
Yeah, the 9 that went was Johnny Giesler, Brian Wharf, Ryan Burdett, Levi Rose, Kyle Bergner, Monty Bergner, Colton Nelson, Audra Cicelli, and Corey Lockwood.
A great night for Corey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Corey was, you probably saw on Race Monitor, he was up to 4th at one time.
Yeah, Corey's running
He
great.
was running between 4th and 6th, and they were starting having some.
When his car's on, it's fucking on.
Oh, I mean, Corey's a good race car driver.
Right? Oh, he can wheel.
Yeah. Yeah, so last 20 lap segment, Johnny was running away with it. He was flat out just running away with it. 8 laps to go, coming out of turn 2.
I don't want to hear it.
Kaboom!
I don't want to hear it.
Up in smoke.
Little flames, little smoke.
So the Jackson team, both cars.
You know, and
Expensive night.
been a rough year in
Yeah.
a lot of ways, and that team will rebound. Those are some good
they will.
people right there, and
Yeah.
quality all the way through. Some great race car drivers and some great mechanics, and they're getting their gremlins.
Yeah.
And they're having a couple years worth of bad luck all rolled up into 1 year.
Yeah,
And,
because looking back the last 2-3 years for him,
when they show up, they're the guys to beat.
right?
Yes.
And Johnny is.
you know they're there
Johnny
when they
is an
unload.
Outstanding sprint car.
Oh, fuck,
So
I
watching Brian
love
and
watching
Johnny battle
Geezer.
last year at the Friday night of King of the Wing was insane. That was a great race.
Yep. So go back to green flag racing with 7-8 laps to go. Ryan Burdett was now handed the lead, and he drove away. He drove away from Ryan
Yep.
on the final restart. He drove away from and picked up the 10,000.
And Ryan's one you feel drive away from.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Now-
know, and it's kind of interesting how they did that. You had 8 total tires, and how you chose to use them was up to you. You could put them all on in the first 2 segments and run scabs in the 20 laps at the end. But those guys up front, I'm pretty sure all put tires on. That were running up front that knew they were going to be there. So the first 80 laps, they really ran on one set. And I've watched a 100 lap race there, I think. What did I watch? 50, 200 lap
200
race.
laps,
200 lap race there. And similar deal. And everybody tired up. And if you hit that tire set right on that last segment, you were going to be fast. And hats off to the Burdett team and the Giesler team, the Wharf team,
Right,
well, everybody actually for hitting the set. But Ryan Burdett,
The last 12 months has been pretty good for Ryan Burdett.
in the race car.
Right.
Now, understand the man is going through some struggles with the C word, and he's a fantastic guy. I've known Ryan, for a while, and fantastic people all around him. And with that whole family with Austin and Johnny Lutmer and that whole family there. They've had a lot of those medical, and I just wish them, I bless them. They're good people, and I'm happy Ryan's kicking butt in the sprint car. I'm sorry for Johnny though, hell, and Mike and what's his name that owns the car? I forget. Spires.
Expensive night for those
I
guys.
forgot.
It happens.
Yeah, and they'll get that fixed. They'll be right back.
But Johnny was the man to beat pretty much throughout that entire evening. So, yeah. But speaking of Brian, all joking aside, Brian, he was just a tick off, from Johnny and Ryan. Brian was probably he was a top 3 car pretty much all night long. So,
last night, Salt Lake City also ran at Rocky Mountain Raceways ran their Eva Destruction kind of deal.
yeah.
With their stuff, and pretty interesting how the modified race went down. There was a bit of controversy. I'm not really versed in yet. I don't have to speak on it because I don't know. But I'm sure there's probably somebody that's out there watching that would know more about the modified controversy. But I watched it on Facebook Live and so forth. Winner last night was Jimmy Waters. with Tyler Whetstone and Lynn Hardy right there with him.
Awesome.
At one point, I thought Zach Webster was in position to really do well and possibly win the race, and got a little bit of contact. Something happened up front, and I think he hurt the car. He ended up pitting, came back up, finished 6th. Jeff Longman 7th, 5th. Webster finished 5th, and Longman finished 6th. Bad night for the number 30 car, Nick Parker. So the points down there, I think Whetstone's going to be leading it, but it's going to be really close. Those guys are going into the final year of that facility. They had 19 modifieds last night.
That's
Great field of
they have a
cars.
huge field.
They've actually.
Yeah, a great bunch of people. And so, yeah, they had a great show last night.
Wouldn't it be great if some of those showed up for Saturday?
Well, they're running Saturday.
Oh,
so
bastards.
that's their last race.
That hurts.
So that, yeah, and you know, it's just what it is. But our schedule was done before they put them on. So they added on top of us. But let's hope some of them come up for the 22nd race at the King of the Wing. And
That's going to be
let's have
so
some
much fun.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. And then
Every time I think of King of the Wing.
Then our viewers, those of you that are loyal to us here on Turn5.Live, you guys are actually going to get a break from me. I'm going to be gone. Be gone for a few weeks.
We got this.
We're going to tear this shit up.
Hell yeah.
I can't. I don't even want to know what it's going to be like when I get back.
You know what? We're going to do it our way.
You always have.
I did it my way.
I just sit over here.
You
and
know the
grump.
shit that I do for you and put you through? I'm going to tear that boy up.
What?
The hell's he talking about?
Nobody fucking knows.
I put you on with the modified show and with the blue and white.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Don't even make me have to explain my words. I put... never mind.
The blue and white.
The blue and yellow flag show.
Oh,
The hell?
what the fuck?
Hey,
You can feel it in your spine.
sorry.
We're getting
now,
this show won't be able to be soft.
Yeah, exactly.
This show's done.
Freaking walking on
All
their
right.
shells.
But I want to tell you, I'm leaving. I'm going to be gone.
I know. We're going to miss you.
No, you're not going to miss me. I'm going to Europe for my 30th wedding anniversary. We're leaving the
Nice.
25th. We'll be gone until October 14th. So I'll probably miss 3 shows the way it looks.
Oh, we got this.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So you guys are on your own.
Oh, we got this.
Yeah.
We'll have to have some.
And our first rodeo.
No.
No, the first one went pretty well. This here's the second rodeo. We roped a couple cows the first one. Rode a bull. So
I got to turn this shit
Donovan is bringing you 5 wives vodka from Utah.
down. I am?
That's what it says here. Somebody's bringing
5
me some
wives?
wives. Well, shit.
I got some Grey Goose up
Haven't
in the
you been
closet.
married
Let's
like
do this
5
shit.
times? You've been married like 5 times.
No, I've been married once. That's enough. That shit, I ain't stupid.
Right on.
I may be drunk, but I ain't dumb.
We still got 8 minutes.
Yeah, let's talk about what's coming up.
Yeah, we got tons of things happening up front here. Yeah. So we got this weekend. All of us are going
We're
to
all going to
be.
be a twin.
Turn that shit off.
No, dude, we're doing the takeover.
Dude, we're going to lose the freaking show again.
That's because it's a friend of mine.
You have no friends.
Dude, I went to high school with these guys.
You did not go to high school with some rap guy.
Dude, North Highlands,
I was going to say.
Come on.
So anyway, this
NorCal.
weekend coming up at Magic Valley Speedway, we have the Royal Purple Modified Series,
Let's talk about
Right.
them.
which is going to be a kick in the butt. This
Right.
weekend is going to be very interesting. Eric Reed holds the point lead. I think he's pretty much, if he starts, he wins. Neil Latham running second. Eric's had a great year, and those guys worked their butts off. They've gone through 2 cars. And one got sold. Lynn Hardy now is campaigning that car at the Rocky Mountain Raceways for a championship opportunity there. And those guys worked their tails off. I know they're listening tonight, so good hats off to you guys, unsung heroes.
Team
down
Yee
there.
Yee.
Team Yee
2
Yee.
cars again.
But that one's a secret still. So you're letting some shit out the bag.
Just saying. No, I was.
Well,
you're
I
supposed
think,
to
I
know.
think the guy who kind of owns that car didn't want anybody to know he's got
I'm
a
just
car.
saying Team Yee Yee.
Yee Yee! So, anyway, Yee Yee will be there in full force.
Yeah.
How about the newly married Aubrey Christiani?
Aubrey
Aubrey
Christiani.
Christiani,
Will
I'm
she be
sure
there?
she'll be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard for certain, but I'm sure she'll be there. I hope
She's
that
like 3rd or 4th in points or whatever. So
she's 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah, she should be right there. We're going to have some invaders. There's some invaders coming. This is breaking news. Dun, dun, dun. Breaking news from Denver, Colorado. We'll have the Veccarai. The Veccarellis are
cool.
coming, yes.
Oh, nice.
We'll have Eddie Sr. and Eddie Jr. I believe Eddie Sr. is racing. If not, it'll be Preston Peltier in a modified,
cool.
which will be insane. One of the best late model drivers in the United States of America. Be running a modified in our series would be pretty cool.
Preston's going to be there. That means
And a 7-time Winston Cup champion
Yeah.
bodybuilder, Hanger, on Jimmy Johnson's car, so it's pretty kind of interesting.
Yeah.
They're telling you to shut up on Facebook, D.
I don't really care.
I know.
Preston's going to be there. That means Ashley will be there too. So
Ashley
it's gonna
McKean will be there,
it's gonna
which is
That's
always good.
right. She's going to be in the spotter stand.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
you know,
good.
she has laser beams for eyeballs. You got to be careful. She will shoot you and melt you with eyeballs. So she's also a new mother, so I'm
Yes.
sure she's
Right.
going to have her hands full. But it'd be nice to see Ashley.
Hopefully, I'll be bringing my little
Now, with this, what the fuck are you on?
Manny.
Oh, Manny. Okay.
I knew that. I knew what he was saying.
I thought you had some new baby or something you were
Nah,
trying
that's
to
Kim.
Probably
promote.
does.
So, also making his series debut for the last 2-3 years, Tim Elam's brand new modified will be out.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Yes, Tim called
Nice.
me tonight. Brand new Lahor's
Nice.
chassis. We're excited about that. Of course, we'll see our friends from Pocatello, the Hunsaker clan, with a brand new car for Kip Lish because they
Oh, I'm
destroyed
excited
one.
to see them up
Yeah.
in the spotters again.
And we're looking forward to Mike Fulmer will be there. Of course, Matt Egley will be there from
The I-10 crew will be
the
there.
whole I-10 crew will be there in full force. Marc Newman will be there. He's got his
AC to Z
AC
Mechanical.
Mechanical. The guy has
Marc Newman, number 17 modified.
He's been keeping it cool for people in Boise, and he was so overworked he couldn't race his car. Everything's
Right.
ready to go. He's ready
All
to
that
go. He's going
heat
to be
and
there.
smoke we've been dealing with.
I know it. And so Aubrey will be there, I'm sure. Rumor has it Shelby's coming back for another run, so we'll have Shelby.
I think he's-
Jonathan
and is-
Gomez will be there.
Cameron Morgan.
That's
maybe?
right. Gomez
Cameron
picked
Mo-
up the other.
Gomez is. He said he'd be there. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
talking like he's coming. So it looks like he'll be there. Cameron Morga was 50-50 on coming back
Okay.
up, but he had a lot of fun. He feels like he had a hole in a radiator after touching the wall, which blew everybody's mind.
Yeah.
I think he probably had it from something else, and that's what when they saw it. But Scott Gilligan, one of our series regulars, will be
87.
there. Yeah, absolutely. Willie
Heat
Dalton,
race
the
winner.
Outlaw, will be there.
Dalton.
New guy coming out, the 22 car out of Twin Falls. Oh God, he just texted me today. You'd think I'd remember. Sean Cart. Sean Cart will be back.
Sean Card.
What else? Who am I missing?
Who's
Sounds
who's driving the house car? The McKean house car.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't own a car anymore.
Okay.
That's Casey Person owns that car.
Okay.
And we'll be driving that car, I'm sure.
All right.
Sean Lester, the new 22
Oh
car.
yeah.
Different
Lester.
22 car out of Twin Falls will be there.
Is
So pretty excited about
who bought
that.
Strobel's other car?
Also, Larry will be there. Wallace.
Well, is he running? He said he was going to do at least
No.
one start.
No, he's not
He
going to run
ready?
at us.
Nah.
Hey, Wallace, shit. I'd love to see him run at those, but Timmy's going to come to Meridian and run Meridian, I'm sure, until he gets his feet wet. Well, we'll win. Your boy Chad. Your boy Chad's the one we can't talk about yet. So possibly Chad will be there. I hope so.
Oh, yeah, I just got the text. Sean Lester.
Sean Lester, yeah.
Larry
So-
Hardenbrook.
Larry Hardenbrock will be there. Absolutely. Larry, the rookie this year, coming out. I'd love to see Charlotte Wilson bring her car out. We haven't seen
I
Charlotte
miss
yet.
Charlotte.
I do.
Yeah,
I do. And that
been a
car is
while.
just sitting there ready to go. If anybody's out there interested in getting a Royal Purple Modified, I'm telling you, that car,
Jay Cook's car,
Jay
too.
Cook's car that Joe Cook owns, that car is sitting there. It's a great race car.
Yeah, that's a good quality piece of
Yep.
equipment.
I know that Nick Gibson's talking about selling his stuff. That car has won many races in our series. It was the left-hander house car, and it was in the PRI show with that body and everything on it when Shelby bought it from them. So that car is sitting there. I don't know who else will get out of Utah because they're, of course, having
Right,
the
yeah, if they're
championship
running
night.
that
So
night. I would assume like fourth on back or like, let's go.
I'm missing
Twin.
somebody, I'm sure. I'd love to see Larry Holcomb run. He did
Wouldn't
really
that
well.
be great? But no,
I
they're
think
running,
this weekend.
double mains this weekend.
Yeah.
Larry Hole, he's
With,
been on a freaking tear
Yeah.
the second half of the season.
Yeah.
Be nice to see Trevor come out. If Trevor has.
Yeah,
it.
I don't know.
going on there?
Don doesn't have him come run twin.
Right.
I don't know what the deal is there. I'd love to see Chris Fenton and Trevor both come out. That would be great. And I know that Chris has told me straight to my face in front of Don Newman, I just want to run your stuff, but he doesn't want me to because he wants to run Meridian too. So I know Chris wants to come. So Chris would be there if he could be.
Yeah.
And
Got a good freaking car for it.
oh yeah, Chris is a great dude, and we enjoy him every time they come. And so do Trevor and the group. They're all good friends of ours.
I love watching
It'd be
Chris
nice if it was
drive.
easier. Yeah, it'd be nice if it was all easier. I'd love to see
Right.
Fenton, Christiani,
Wharf.
Eric Reed.
Where is our firefighter? Or the water?
Gentry.
20. Gentry, Pisca.
Gentry's
The
still
hell is
building the
Pisca?
house. He's building the house.
Still got a car.
I know. And it'd be nice to see
Put
him.
Worf in the damn car. He's done it before.
Worf's got a car. I'll give you his number. You can call up Gent.
All right.
Gent is, he told me straight up, he goes, when I'm done building my house, I'm building a race car, and we're going to come out there and dominate.
Damn
and
it.
he said, I'm going brand
Pisca.
new, everything brand new from the ground up. So
Get
he's still
Unfortunately-
wanting to be there.
Unfortunately, Worf will probably be at Breeding
Yeah, he's
Speedway,
gonna be
I'm
running
pretty
for
sure
it.
he's running for the points championship.
Yeah.
So
We're
They're
gonna
gonna
have
give
what
it
we're
to
gonna have.
Colton.
This is one of those weekends where you looked at the schedule and you said, okay, we're gonna be down a little bit on car count,
Oh, we're
Yeah.
doing good on car count right now.
but the quality and the camaraderie of the people that we're having, the people that we're adding, Lester, Hardbrook, Tim Meelam, the people that we're adding to the series this weekend, I'm very excited about
Healthy.
having them come. Yeah, very healthy that we're getting new. And, we're over 50 drivers have raced in the series this year already. And that's pretty cool. And we're going to end up the series and crown our champion and everything on the 22nd with the King of Wings at Meridian, or home track. And we're going to have a kick in the butt time. We're
That
going to
whole
drink some beer.
weekend, Friday, Saturday night.
I'm going to get drunk.
It's gonna hurt.
Somebody's going to have to take me home.
I'm done. Sunday, I'm not doing squat. I'm running unofficial.
I got to get ready to go to Europe.
Yeah, Sunday's show is gonna be us sleeping on
that
the couch.
weekend is gonna be busy for me. I'm announcing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday,
Jesus.
Wow.
3 different places.
I'm driving and officiating. He's just hanging out, being a dumbass. So
Yeah. Well, we're out of time. I mean,
Yeah.
not that anybody gives a shit about our time, but
Right.
we definitely appreciate the 15 people that are currently still watching
The
and everybody
tens
that
of
came on
fans.
tonight. I'd really like to thank Colton for coming on. That
right?
was incredible.
No,
It was
he
lot
did
of
a
fun.
great job.
I'd
It's
like
like
to
he's
think-
been interviewed before.
I'd like to kiss Formula One's ass at this point. Guys, we're talking positive about your stuff, not negative. So blow me.
Right, F1.
Yeah, they're number one. And I want to thank DJ Everett for being a badass and a good friend.
Right.
Had a great time at your house the other night.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
thanks for coming.
Right there.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
housewarming party. You guys had a
Yeah.
great, beautiful home.
Yeah.
And we got to
coming
see
over.
the hot rod.
I didn't go out and see the hot rod.
Okay, should I make the announcement? Everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
Everybody
All
freaking knows by
15
now.
people are just sitting there
Right?
fucking
I already
hanging on
everybody
this
freaking knows by now. It's been
And it's not like we threw up anything in the air that's going to block the show,
Yeah.
so only like 15, 20
thanks,
people
thanks to
watch
Riley
the thing.
Robert all year long, kind of giving out
Right.
hints. But no, I do have a pro truck. I just wasn't able to get it out this year due to
It's a pretty pro truck.
it will be pretty actually.
Yeah.
So I do have a pro truck, and
Yep.
thank you, Randy Kerr, for not being too mad at me. I'm going to be getting it out next year.
Don't they have
some-
another race?
Yeah, they have.
Put Donovan in it.
Right, I'll do it. I'll pedal.
Walls are his friend.
I love Wall.
Boy.
I love Wall. I love Wall.
So the pro
I'm
trucks.
really good for like a few laps.
But we appreciate you very much. Appreciate Donovan Johns and appreciate his grandmother for having us in the basement.
Oh yes,
Got to get that
definitely.
lasagna.
You know,
Definitely.
it's nice that you gave her, the battery went out in her hearing
Right,
aids.
and-
I can't say that. The batteries ran out in her hearing aids, so she can't even hear us yelling and stuff.
Keep the oxygen going in the tank. She's good.
You know it. You keep telling her these beers are tonic to make me
How's she
skinny.
doing? Is the walker still okay? Do we need to get her?
Oh, no, I put it in the other room. She can't get up.
Oh, you bastard! Wow.
I'm falling and she's got the little thing going on. I'm falling and I can't get up. For Donovan Johns, for DJ Everett, my
That's
name's
right.
Todd Labronte and Colton Nelson and all the group. Appreciate you all tuning in tonight. We'll see you at the races.
See ya.
That's right.